I got so much motherfucking design on right now.
Break it down, bring it back, make it clap. I got 3 old thoughts, new block, where that thing. Bitches on my line, and you know.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Siti Nurul Afifa and my ID number is 2121010600015. The purpose of making this video is to fulfill the final examination of academic speaking semester. Well, the topic for today is how can education adapt to changing times and the needs of society? And this topic is very interesting to discuss, so let's talk about it. Education is one of the most important things for human development. Through education, a person can gain the knowledge, skills, values needed to become a qualified individual and be useful to society. However, in an era that is constantly changing and developing like now, education needs to adapt to the changing times and the needs of society. The changes that occur today are very fast and drastic, especially with the development of information and communication technology. This affects the way humans obtain information and access knowledge. Therefore, education needs to adapt to these technological developments to meet the increasingly high and complex needs of society. One way to adapt to the changing times is to introduce information and communication technology, technology into education. Schools and colleges should introduce and utilize information and communication technology to improve the quality of learning and teaching. Those students and faculty members can gain broader and deeper knowledge as well as improve their skills in accessing information and communicating. In addition, education also needs to adapt to the increasingly complex and diverse needs of society. One way to adapt is to provide education that is more inclusive and diverse. Education must be able to reach all levels of society without exceptions. Education must be able to provide different perspectives to accommodate the needs and diversity of society. Education must be able to develop skills and abilities that are relevant to the demands of today's society. Basic skills such as reading, writing, and arithmetic are still important, but other skills such as creativity, innovation, and critical thinking also need to be developed. Education must be able to develop these abilities holistically so that students and university can become qualified individuals who are able to compete in an increasingly complex era. The theme of how education can adapt to the changing times and the needs of society is a very broad and complex topic. In addition to technology and the development of an increasingly complex society, many other factors affect education such as social, economic, political, and cultural changes. Social changes, for example, can affect the way students learn and interact with their surroundings. Economic changes such as globalization and the free market can affect society's demands on the quality of education. Political and cultural changes can also affect the policies and values applied in the education system. In facing these challenges, education needs to be able to adapt dynamically and flexibly. Education must be able to adjust to the changes that occur while maintaining the values and main objectives of education that don't change, namely developing individual potential and building a better society. One way to ensure education can adapt to changing times and society's needs is to strengthen monitoring and evaluation systems. A good evaluation system can help identify weaknesses and strengthens the education system and provide useful feedback to develop more effective policies and strategies. Education also needs to be able to develop qualified and professional educators. Qualified educators can help students gain knowledge and skills that are relevant to the demands of society, as well as provide inspiration and motivation to develop their potential to the fullest. It is important to build synergy between education and society. Education must be able to establish close partnership with community, both through curriculum development that is relevant to the needs of the community, as well as through community service program that can provide direct benefits to the community. The message and impression that can be conveyed to the community is the importance of the community's role in supporting and strengthening the existing education systems. The community has a very important role in building a better education that is relevant to the demands of the time and the needs of society. One way to support education is to pay attention to and support existing education policies and programs. The community can provide constructive feedback and input on existing education policies and programs, so as to improve and enhance the quality of education. In addition, communities can also help strengthen the education system by supporting and motivating children and young people to go to school and get a quality education. Communities can help facilitate access to education for underprivileged children and provide support and motivation for children to study hard. Communities can also help strengthen education through participation in community service programs organized by educational institutions. The community can take advantage of these programs to gain benefits and knowledge useful for their daily lives, as well as provide input and feedback on these programs. So, in conclusion, education is a shared responsibility between the government, educational institutions, and the community. In building a better education that is relevant to the demands of the times and the needs of society, the community has a very important role in supporting and strengthening the existing education system. Therefore, let's together build a better education so that it can provide great benefits for human development and society. So guys, maybe that's all from me, and sorry for all my mistakes. And last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bring it down, make it clap. I got 3